was trying to time it with the last note. That didn't work. Oh, well, good afternoon. My name is Jenny Sprague, and I have the pleasure of serving as president for Muskegon Rotary this year. We are now in the month of June, and the new theme for the Rotary Foundation is Rotary Fellowships. Today's program will bring us all up to date on the Muskegon County Senior Millage Renewal. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed with a reflection from Sue Samaniego, and we'll recite the four-way test at the end of the meeting. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sue?
Okay, hello. Today I would like to talk to you about listening, which is the greatest gift. So many of you know that as my first career, I was a speech language pathologist. Communication has been at the center of everything that I've done throughout my career. I know about the neurophysiology of listening. I know about active listening. I've done counseling, but none of those things make me a great listener. It might provide me some helpful skills, but the biggest thing that it requires is letting go and being in the moment. That's one of the hardest things that we can do. At the Rotary District Conference this year, we got a chance to do some improv, which was all about letting go and being in the moment. So one of the things we had to do was someone started out with a word, and you had to listen to the word before you and give a word that was relevant to that word. Not the person before that, but the person right before you. And it is so difficult not to think about what you're going to say next versus, hearing what they're actually saying. So you really have to be in tune with the person before you in order to listen well. So if you're thinking about what you're going to say in response, making judgments about what's being said, you're not in the moment and you're not truly giving the gift of listening. To give the greatest gift, the gift of true listening requires that you step outside of yourself and live for a moment completely for another person. This isn't easy, but it's worth the effort. What you gain is true understanding, true relatedness, and the joy of human connection. Thanks.
Those were words worth listening to, and you were all very paying attention. So you may be seated. Please enjoy your lunch, and some fellowship will resume at 12:20. I hope you've had a chance to enjoy some fellowship and your lunch. We're going to proceed with our meeting. Mike, if you could please show our Rotary Fellowship slide. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, video. Misspoke.
I'm the CEO of Red Dot Foundation. It's a not-for-profit in India as well as in the US, and our main work is sexual violence prevention.
Right now I'm based in Bangkok, building up a social enterprise network, supporting smallholders farmers in moving to sustainable agriculture.
One of my passions is working with youth, providing mentorship, and drawing out the leadership and skills that so many of our young people have.
I've been involved with Aikido for over 35 years. I have been working a lot with traumatized clients, especially from abuse, from domestic violence.
I'm the founder and CEO of The Female Voice, a global hub for females to empower the world.
My work is to build bridges between communities, to make sure that communities understand each other, to create receptivity for immigration.
I work now at the Sanitation and Water for All partnership. What we do as a partnership is to really catalyze action around the water, sanitation, and hygiene.
Some of the skills that I took back from the Rotary Peace Fellowship program was better communication in the non-violent space.
If we can support the economic development in a very sustainable way, I believe that we have a chance for building a peace platform.
First of all, we are a family of Peace Fellows, and we see ourselves as change agents in the community.
The fellowship creates sort of this hotbed of growth and evolution for peace builders, for people advocating for social change.
The training for me, it helped because I did not just come out as somebody who understands development policy, but I also have this insight into peace and conflict resolution.
It's my personal experience that Aikido can bring peace from within, and then you can expand that to other people through your interaction.
And if you have the passion and you have the desire to make change in your community or in the world, you're the right person for this program.
The Rotary Peace Ambassadors Program, Peace Fellowship Program, is truly an impressive group of people that qualify for that. The district district governor-elect, I'll get all these acronyms right here, Mark Andreski first learned about Rotary as a Rotary Peace Fellow. So, he came on and really joined in. So anyway, it's an excellent program, and it's our chance to learn some about it this month. We have guests now. Those of you who have a guest with you, we are looking forward to meeting them. Please come up and get ready to introduce everyone. The lovely Amy Seymour will be there to assist you with the microphone.
You're going to be first.
Okay. We'll go first. Okay.
I'm going to hand that to you, and then you can just hand it back to me.
Okay.
There you go. And remember, check the monitor so we can see you both.
Oh, well, yeah.
Here we go.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brad Hastings from Disability Network West Michigan, and I have the pleasure of having our CEO, Will Wilson, with us here today. And we received some senior millage funding, so we were interested in the program.
Oh, excellent. Thank you and welcome. It's another Crandall.
I'd like to introduce our middle son, Keith Crandall. He's a professor of bioinformatics and the director of the Institute of Computational Biology at George Washington University. Although he's still on the staff at George Washington University, he and his wife have moved back to Muskegon a couple of months ago, and he has an in-office or in Muskegon office at the Water Resource Center. Keith Crandall.
Welcome.
Hi everyone, Joey Foley with Renew Mobility. I have the pleasure of introducing our Executive Director, Colleen Davis. We heard about the senior millage being discussed today, and we wanted to make sure we were here to learn a little bit more because we might be interested in applying for some funding.
Welcome.
Lisa Kraus, Marketing Director for Taste of Muskegon. Just a reminder, you all need to come eat with me this Friday and Saturday. My guest today is, once again, Mallory Meston, the granddaughter of Susan Meston. I think is actually her best title. Everybody seems to know her that way. So she'll be inducted soon.
Welcome.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello, Irma.
Hello, friends. Irma Carney of Revolution Mortgage. This is my youngest son, Xavier. Today is his last day of 7th grade at Western Michigan Christian. And he does always dress like this. My JCPenney's card can prove it.
Welcome.
Hi all, Stephanie Tushek with Lamar Advertising. My guest today, some of you might recognize, Linda Myers, instructor at Baker College, founder of the Baker College Rotaract Club back in 2010-11. So yeah, my past college advisor, and now we're friends.
Colleagues.
Yeah.
Colleagues.
What did I say?
You said friends. Friends works too.
Oh, yeah.
Todd Rexford, introduce you to one of my good friends too, my daughter, Sarah. So she is a writer. She writes for people who are connected with New York Times, Forbes, Google, United Nations, Harvard, and she also coaches writers and speaks at writing conferences, and she wanted to join us today.
Welcome. That is a very distinguished group of guests today. I think high marks, guys. Way to go. We hope you all enjoy the meeting. We're delighted to have you here with us. As I said before, no student guests until next fall, because as we heard, they're done. So, Jamie Hecker will be introducing our speakers for today. Thank you for the info.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I am so pleased to introduce two of my very good friends today. Nancy McCarthy is a longtime Rotarian since 1989, and she was the third female member of our club and the second female president. She retired as the CEO of Visiting Nurses and has been involved in many health improvement programs. And in more recent years, a leading member of our diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts in Muskegon Rotary, as well as in the community, in the Business Equity Initiative Fund that she started with Marianne Gorman. Since 2015, Nancy has been involved in the Muskegon County Senior Millage. She was on the committee that successfully advocated for the senior millage to be put in front of voters in 2016. And she was original member of the Senior Activities Committee, which is appointed by the county commissioners to make the funding recommendations for grants. In 2023, she joined the Citizens for Muskegon County Senior Millage, which is a committee that advocated for the renewal of the senior millage. Lisa Tyler has been a member of Muskegon Rotary since 2018. She heads the greeting committee, is part of the membership committee, and will be a board member starting next month. Lisa is the communications director of Senior Resources of West Michigan, the area agency on aging. She is passionate about issues relating to older adults, which is the fastest growing segment of our population. She loves to talk about services, supports, and ageism. She has worked with both of the committees on the senior millage, as well as on the Senior Activities Committee. She's passionate about her community, her family, and of course, MSU. Go Green. And in a small world connection that they just told me about here, Nancy is from Iron Mountain, and Lisa's dad is also from Iron Mountain, and he graduated with Nancy's older sister. And this is our fun fact for the Spartans in the room. Tom Izzo is also from Iron Mountain, so go Green.
And once a Youper, always a Youper. So we're here today to talk about the senior millage, and it's really my pleasure. I said I was on the first committee, and if you live long enough, it comes back around again, and so they snag you again. But it's a thing I'm passionate about too. So it's been fun. As you know, they've predicted kind of a silver tsunami, so to speak, because so many baby boomers are aging and they're living pretty long lives. And so it's predicted that our population here will probably, 60 and over, will probably double within the next 20 years. I think right now we're at about 33,000 people over 60. So anyway, back in 2015, is when we started planning for the original millage. We were one of only about 14 counties out of 83 in Michigan that did not have a senior millage, and we've got a pretty good population. And so we felt like it was really time for our community to step up and pay our share of our seniors. I mean, we do get federal and state dollars, but we need to also have that fail-safe for our seniors so that we can help them as they age. So back then, we asked for a half a mil, 0.5 mils, and it was approved in August of 2016 by a pretty wide margin. Since then, more than 12,000 seniors have been served, and anyone 60 or older is eligible. Now, the average cost for a $225,000 home is about $55, and for lesser homes, less than that, obviously, $25 for a $100,000 home. And we have been able to collect about $2.5 million each year, which is a very significant amount of money. So we're really pleased with that. As Jamie indicated, there is a senior activities committee that actually oversees the funding. I was the chair of that for the first 3 years, and then others have taken the leadership since then. And also Senior Resources, of course, is a very important partner because they are in charge of all the requests for proposals and vetting the services and so forth, and making sure that those services are quality services that are being provided. So they have a really great role, and Lisa Tyler has just been super as far as helping us with all of the senior millage issues, and she does a lot of speaking engagements, and without her, I don't know where we'd be, Lisa. So since the inception, more than 38,800, it's really services have been received services. It's 12,000 unduplicated people, but many people receive more than one service. Like they might get a ride to dialysis, they might also have some in-home services or Meals on Wheels or something like that. We don't count the person twice, but we do count the service that's provided. And also the millage is designed as the dollars of last resort. So they use other dollars first, the federal and state dollars get used first, and then the community dollars after that. So it's been an awesome journey, I think, and so we're coming up on it again, and we do hope that the services will continue. If you want more information, please visit seniorresourceswestmichigan.org, and there's all sorts of statistics on the website. The annual reports on the website. You can also sign up to receive the quarterly millage minutes, and when Lisa puts that out, it just tells you what kinds of services have been provided over the last quarter. So it's a very good thing. All right, so now I'll turn it over to Lisa, and she's going to tell you more about the actual services.
I do want to note on that previous slide where Senior Resources is the grants administrator. So that was part of something the county commission put out a request for proposal for organizations to do that. We were awarded that in 2017, which is really when services got started. But not all of the funding comes through that. Several years ago, it was recommended to the county that each municipality get a portion of that they spend on their own, and that has been very successful. So 25% of that millage money goes to each municipality on a formula that is based, I think there's a base formula and then something adjusted by how many older adults, and they all make their own decisions. So each township, each city, each village gets a portion of that they spend in a variety of ways. That money, or excuse me, that funding and those numbers are not part of that 12,000 and the 38,000 services, because Senior Resources only tracks what's reported through the granted organizations. The other is a different process. So we know it's more people than that, but that's what we can track. So these are, again, all the programs I'm going to talk about are funded by the grants. So again, separate from the municipalities. Some of the municipalities put their funding towards some of these programs, but they're divided into roughly 6 different categories. One of them being health and educational programs. So these are programs like Volunteer for Dental that does dental care and dentures and preventive care. We know that that is tremendously important. It's a super important indicator of health in other ways. It's a program, if you don't know about it, I love to talk about it. I've never used it or known anybody. Well, I do know a couple people who've used it, but it's this win-win-win. It's dentists who are volunteering to serve patients. The patients are people who couldn't afford dental care, so they volunteer, and for each hour they volunteer, they get, I think, $25 in credit for the services. So then those agencies are benefiting by getting new volunteers. Those people are benefiting because they're getting dental care and they've become volunteers, and we all know how much better you feel and how good it is for yourself for it when you volunteer. So it's really a tremendous innovative program, and so this is allowing that program to expand to more older adults. There are low vision services through through Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. So many times people, as they age, they have, we all need like the distance glasses I have to wear these days because I am an older adult, proudly. But these are when we've got some more significant things, and people will need some assistive devices like we see up there, things that will help them read. There are programs and tools that help them stay in the home. There's a Medicare assistance program that helps people who are turning 65 or having other changes in their lives or need help with open enrollment, because that's all done online and not everybody is comfortable doing that. So there's a program that helps people connect with that. They're not selling anything, they're just helping them see their options. There's a variety of contracted in-home services. That money flows through Senior Resources and back out to the community completely, not any, to allow some programs and services that will help people stay in their home, things like programs that help with toileting, bathing, some care around the home as people would need some help with that. And there's a variety of health promotion classes as well. Oops, I'm pushing the wrong button. Yep, I have my distance glasses on and this is way too close for them. And the lighting. It's what happens when you age, but every day above ground's a good day and it's better than the alternative, so I won't complain. So housing services. So things like lawn care. There are many municipalities that will fine people if their lawns are not kept up. So there's an organization that does some basic levels of lawn care. They're just mowing and doing those kind of things. They're not removing brush. They're not landscaping, but they're making sure that people who don't have somebody in the home, don't have the financial means, they're qualified for that they're getting their lawn up, kept up. That's a seasonal program, as you understand. We'll talk about the other seasonal program that organization does. And home repairs. And honestly, there are a few areas that I'll talk about that roughly 2.5 million that has increased over the years. We haven't actually, I think the first year we were about 2.1 million that was collected. We could put all the funding to home repairs and still not meet the needs. We could put all the funding to transportation and still not meet the needs. We could put all of it to meals programs and still not meet the needs. But we're doing the best we can. And the great thing about a senior millage is that it's local, and those local community members are making the recommendations up to your local county commissioners for how that money is spent. So home repairs, there's a limit on how much somebody can receive in home repairs, but it's things like you see there, flooring, a shower that has a low barrier to get in, but flooring so that they're not tripping. There's been ceiling leaks, all kinds of things like that have been very helpful, again, in keeping people home. Legal services, Safe Seniors. I see DJ Hilson over there. He's a big fan of this program, as am I. So there has always been a Safe Seniors, formerly known as Tri-County Protection Team, a collaborative body in the community to educate and inform about abuse, neglect, and financial exploitation. Financial exploitation and scams are huge. What the millage allowed to happen that was pretty phenomenal, AgeWell Services, one of our longtime partners in the community, proposed having dedicated police officers. So we have 2 full-time dedicated police officers who work with somebody dedicated at the prosecutor's office to go after these people who are taking advantage of older adults. It has been a phenomenal success. If I gave the microphone to DJ to talk about it, we'd be done with time immediately. But it's a phenomenal program, and they've recovered hundreds of thousands of dollars that people have lost. It's been truly amazing. Many of the municipalities choose to give all or part of their funding for this program. It sincerely would not exist without the millage, and would probably go away without the millage, or greatly scale. Fair housing services. There is Fair Housing Center, and they make sure that people are not denied housing based on their age or their disability status, and they're protected classes. So they do education. They do kind of a safe shopper or a secret shopper program on that. Legal services, our friends at Legal Aid, that's allowed them to increase their services as well. Mobility services, tremendously important. Senior transportation, our friends at Disability Network are one of a couple of programs that they have a voucher program for people who can find drivers. This allows them to get reimbursed mileage for that, to get people to where they need to go, both for medical and for social activities. AgeWell also has a senior transportation program. And I should say there's a couple copies around on the tables, and I have lots more available that list all of these programs. And then on the reverse side, there's contact information for them. So I'm not looking at this as I go through it, but I know what most of them are. So senior transportation, AgeWell has the old Red Cross program that used to operate for years that does medical transportation within the county. Wheelchair ramps are a big thing that's partnering with Love Inc. It's probably nobody's surprised. They've done that for years. It's allowed them to have funding to expand that. Has successfully gotten people out of the house who literally haven't been able to or can't get out to those medical appointments. And snow removal. That same organization that does lawn care does snow removal, which is very important in making sure people can get out, that help can get into the homes. And so they do that during the winter season. Nutritional services, also a big one, making sure people get healthy meals. So there are congregate meals, there are home delivered meals. There's the Senior Power of Produce that is with the Fruitport Lions that will start in early July, the Tuesday after the 4th. That is a very popular program because many of these programs, some of them do have financial criteria, you need to be low income or something, but this is a great example, as are others, of congregate meals. You don't have to be poor, you don't have to be low income. Anybody can go. They get tokens to use at our fabulous farmers market. It's on Tuesdays starting in July till they run out of funding, which will be in August probably, because it is immensely popular. If you're going to go and do it, I advise you to get there early on Tuesdays because it's a long line. But a really great program to get to use the beautiful facility we have here, these local farmers, and to get healthy food into them. Veggie Van is through our partners at the Y, again, taking fresh produce and things around to a lot of housing complexes in the community so that they can get fresh food into people's homes. And social, recreational, emotional services. So a really kind of big encompassing thing, but very, very important. It's not only fun to get out and do things with friends, it's important to our physical well-being. I think the pandemic really opened up everybody's eyes to the negative impacts that social isolation had, especially on all of us, but especially on older adults. Those of us in the Aging Network have known about that for a long time. There's correlations between social isolation being the physical equivalent of smoking packs of cigarettes a day. It's that detrimental when you don't have those connections. So the Association for Blind and Visually Impaired has vision loss counseling. They also have peer support groups, which are really important for people who are in different stages. Somebody who's new to vision loss or vision impairment can learn from people who've been through that, learn some tips and tricks. Senior Companion Program is a program through Catholic Charities that are older adults who are providing at a low stipend, a cost. It's an AmeriCorps Seniors program. They're providing services to other older adults. It's friendship. They're doing activities together. Again, one of those win-win organizations. Energize and Thrive, that's a senior recreation program. That's the newest program we have through the Boys and Girls Club with that beautiful new facility, but they've been doing it even before they got into that beautiful new facility. They were doing it at their temporary locations. So some programs that are dedicated for older adults. There's a variety of senior enrichment programs. Orchard View does them. There are all kinds of Pioneer Resources does them. They've got a really great bus transport program for the northern and eastern parts of the counties, because when the committee back in 2015 was working to promote this, the conversation has always been, not everything happens in Muskegon Heights, and Norton Shores. We need to make sure these programs get throughout the county, and they have, absolutely. I remember, I'm looking at Kathy Moore, the meeting we had with Senior Activities Committee in probably 2018 maybe, after a year of programs, when we finally got to Blue Lake Township. I think they were our last one, and we had a little celebration because we had finally reached every single municipality, because we track that. So there's some programs that take people out in the county, and then they're bringing them, they're doing lunch, and they're going to all kinds of fabulous things in Muskegon County. Because the rules are, you're 60 and over, you're a Muskegon County resident, but all the programs have to be in with Muskegon County as well. So we know there's fabulous things in Grand Haven. Well, you're not going there on taxpayer dollars, you're going to go on your own, because we support our own community where the taxes are being paid. Senior Center social activities, there's a variety of different places doing those. You see some examples. There's the Cardinals is understandably at Orchard View, their senior programs. Age Well, doing some outings. They've done some things where they've taken people the last 2 years zip lining as part of that, out at the county. I can't remember what was the Winter Sports Complex, whatever the new name is that's escaping me. You see some exercise classes, some lunches. There's a couple of places that do monthly luncheon activities. They do that in Ravenna. They do that in Casnovia Township. They do it in Eggleston Township. Those are all very popular. They're getting together. They're having that fellowship. They're frequently hearing speakers, doing activities there as well. So this is a listing, which again is on that form there, of all the current fiscal year grant-funded millage providers. They are all wonderful partnerships. You will see there are some municipalities like Eggleston Township did choose to go through the grants process. They work with the VFW post for something. Ravenna Township does the same thing. They've got a luncheon activity center, and they do a program where they provide transportation to take older adults grocery shopping. They come from Ravenna and come into some of the bigger stores. Variety of programs there that are doing great work. Many of them have been working with older adults before, and many of them were kind of new to it when the millage offered that opportunity, and we have really appreciated seeing, and I'm speaking for the committee, Senior Resources doesn't get a vote on that committee. It's important to say. We are there to facilitate the process, but the committee makes the recommendations up to the county commissioners. The county commissioners get the final say on all of that. But it's been really a tremendous thing to see so many organizations come together to work on this fabulous segment of the population. And when I started this millage work, I wasn't an older adult, but boy, I'm awfully glad I am. I'm awfully glad I live in a community that has these supports and that values its older adults as well as it does. And then this is very important. The Citizens for the Muskegon County Senior Millage is chaired by Greg Scott. He's amazing. He has been on that Senior Activities Committee since the inception of it. He's the only person still on it that has been there the whole time. We're grateful that when he stopped being chair of that committee, he stepped right up and said he wanted to, he said he'd be involved in this and started it, and I convinced him to be the chair. He's amazing, but doesn't love to publicly speak. So I do a lot of that instead. J.D. Wallace, former Rotarian, is the treasurer because he was looking for something to do, and Greg is persuasive and convinced him to do that. Rachel Sereska, who is also part of the Senior Activities Committee. Peggy Foster, also part of Senior Activities Committee. Marcia Hovey Wright, our own Rotarian and County Commissioner. She chairs the Senior Activities Committee right now and also serves on this committee. Former Commissioner Ken Mahoney, who used to be part of Senior Activities Committee as well. Nancy, who's done all of this. Rotarian Bob Skolnick, who also was a commissioner and part of that. And Jonna Willis, she works with Legal Aid and does this on her own time. That's the group of amazing people who put on a successful fundraiser that we held at Tanglewood Park in March. They're the ones who have been raising money to get signs and to spread the word about what the senior millage does. And if you're interested in helping with anything with that, but what's different, Nancy and I were saying before this, we did this kind of a presentation 8 years ago when we were getting ready to have a first ever ballot issue. It was a very different thing to do then because everybody voted on one day. We didn't have early voting and absentee voting, so we had to ramp up our whole schedule. This committee started meeting last summer to get the word out earlier because the absentee ballots, for those who request them, will go out around the 19th or 20th of this month. So we've been doing a lot of this work for a long time. So advocating, so spreading the word to people. We aren't really pushing the donation part too much. We did that early on. We're doing fine. But remember to vote, whether it's on August 6th or if you're an early voter. And I see I'm over time and I didn't mean to be. So questions. And I'll have Nancy come up too in case they have questions.
Hi, Jules Terry from Terry Dental, and I just wanted to say we are proud to say that we are part of the Volunteer for Dental. So we do see many of your patients.
I saw you waving your arms. I just couldn't see who was waving them with the light. Well, thank you for what you do. I think that's a phenomenal program.
Melissa from Muskegon Rescue Mission. We are also partnered with Volunteer Dental, and we have that. Question for you is, you said this is, if you are 60 and older, you're eligible for these services. Is this also true for seniors who are in our shelter, or do you have to have a permanent residence to be eligible?
As far as I know, I mean, now I'm looking at Kathy Moore for all of that, but I don't think we've ever had any discussion, but I don't see why you wouldn't be. Yeah,
I'll connect with you then.
absolutely. Now, if Dave Alexander doesn't ask me a question, I'm going to be really disappointed. Dave always has the good questions. I was really expecting him to be first. I know.
Brad Hastings from Disability Network West Michigan. If we were interested in having a yard sign or something like that, who would we contact to get one of those?
Greg Scott. Jane, did he put some in your trunk of your car? He told me yesterday he was going to. Brad, I'll get in touch with you. We've got a lot of them out. We're actually doing a small reorder because, and I will say we have a lot of vote yes ones, and we have some that just say vote, because like at Tanglewood Park, we're very careful about that because we get funding from the government, that we have just vote ones. So we have both versions available.
Other questions? I'm going to bring it over to Dave.
Nancy, I got one for you.
Okay, good.
I got one for you. Go ahead. You got to go up there. I'm practicing. As I hit the age of seniorism, ageism, describe what you would find is the most prevalent way that ageism is reflected in our community.
You know, Lisa's really the expert on that, but I think sometimes seniors feel like they're not listened to, that they're sort of past the age of productivity or whatever. And so, you know, I mean, not everybody's bold as I am, so I just carry on. But
I'm going to add.
yes, I'll let Lisa add to it.
Because I did my first ever talk on ageism recently to the Community Foundation, and it was something I'm real passionate about. Here's what the most common one that we all probably have been guilty with: greeting cards. Greeting cards in stores. I'll tell you, when you become aware of ageism and the old fart and all the, I did one, your chariot awaits. When we turn 50, you get them about Depends and walkers and things like that. Greeting card industry is rife with ageist comments, and we have been indoctrinated in that since we were children. And I would have to do a whole other presentation on that, on ageism. But that's something that we all do. And I'll tell you, my CEO and I do not buy greeting cards the same way. I had one laid out for my husband, and it called him an old fart. I'm like, well, this is going into recycle because I can't give him those cards anymore. But we hear that all so early. Anti-aging lotions, all kinds of things. They're marketed at our teenagers. It's a whole other discussion, not related to senior millage, but I'd be happy to talk to you.
Not a question, just a comment. Age is just a number of years. It's not the life in your number of years.
Amen.
Okay, well, thank you for that great presentation, ladies. If you could please show the hand wash slide, excuse me, Mike. One more time. As an appreciation for your presentation today, we will be making a donation to Hand Wash, which is a cooperative initiative between, I've been saying this wrong all year, it's a French word, Terre Neuve in Haiti and Champion Rotary District 6290 to provide clean water, sanitation, and hygiene in rural areas of Haiti. So thank you. We appreciate your presentation. Remember back in high school, you were happy to be a senior, so just think of it that way. Okay, it's birthday time. Speaking of a subject, you know, I think we're rationing birthdays. We've had like 2 for the last few weeks, so it's not the intention, it's just the way it lays out. Martin Asplund on June 7th, and Irma Carney, who's here. Happy birthday, Irma, on June 8th. And you can make your contributions to the Caring Connection, and I don't sing, it's win-win, just remember that. we are going to be inducting a new, wait, whoops, skipped a step. Hold that thought. As I mentioned earlier, this is the Rotary Foundation theme for June, is that Rotary Fellowships Month. And when we do our spotlight videos each month, I try to get people that are connected with that particular theme. And so I thought about the fellowships for this month, and since we have no one that is a Rotary Peace Fellow now, I thought, who creates fellowship in our club for us? And so that's what we're going to be focusing on with this month. So please rotate Mr. Voges.
I'm Mike Voges. I joined Rotary in 2019. I am amazingly glad to be a part of this organization, an international organization of more than 1 million people and more than 200 folks who are my close friends now. I originally joined and asked the president if I could help out with the program because things were a bit challenging regarding the technology. And since that time, I've been invited to bring in my own gear and help the presidents make each meeting just the best that it could possibly be. And so I am absolutely enthused about having each one of our Rotarians be the very best that they can when they get in front of a microphone or in front of a camera. So when I started the YouTube channel X number of years ago, I've been looking forward to just that kind of improvement in everybody's performance. I have been in the theater as well as an educator almost all of my life, and it's always important for me to get the very best that an individual can share. I had to look up fellowship because it's a squirmy word in my mind, but it really has to do with how people feel about each other. And that has to do with my interest in making people as comfortable as they can possibly be when they present. I think it was put best by Maya Angelou, who said, I have learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will always remember how you made them feel. And so my goal is to have people feel good about what they're hearing and what they're sharing.
I'd like to do a thank you to the person on the other side of the interview. Mike wasn't talking to himself. Jason Piasecki graciously agreed to interview Mike for this segment. Thank you, Jason. Now we're ready to induct a new member. I was jumping ahead. We have that pleasure today, and I invite Tim Arter and Tim Tuttle to please come forward. And Amy will get you a mic.
Thank you, Amy. Are we on the spot?
Probably should come over just a little bit. Look at the monitor.
There's a number of pieces of tape up here, that, for those of you who don't know that. Tim Arter, and I have the pleasure of introducing Tim Tuthill. He was born and raised in Jackson, Michigan. After high school, Tim graduated from Grand Valley State University with a BS in psychology, with plans to attend Perkins School of Theology at Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas. Oh, good.
Wow.
We have more degrees coming. While at SMU, he was active in leadership and music. He started the West Dallas Project. In the 1990s, many of the homes in West Dallas did not have running water, and many of the citizens needed a great deal of help and services. SMU students and faculty went into West Dallas to serve the people there. Tim then moved to the Lansing area and served 2 congregations, as well as he obtained a master's in social work at Michigan State University. He helped start a ministry in Mason, Michigan, for parents and family that had lost a child. That ministry continues after 16 years of serving families. Tim then moved to Grand Rapids in 2010 and held leadership positions with Clark Retirement Communities. Then in 2022, he became the president of the Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired, also known as ABVI. And it was ABVI was brought up a number of times in the presentations just a short while ago. As was mentioned, ABVI is in Muskegon area, has a low vision clinic, provides rehabilitation therapy, and provides a monthly support group. ABVI annually sponsors the Run for Sight in Muskegon at Pierre Marquette Park. This year's race will be held on September the 7th. The race supports the work of serving clients with blindness and low vision. Tim is the proud father of 3 boys. His oldest just completed his first year at the University of Michigan, studying engineering. His second son is finishing his junior year in high school, and his youngest is in the 7th grade. Rotary is a great fit for Tim in that he enjoys serving others and being active in the communities he lives and serves. Tim Tuthill.
Thank you for that introduction, Tim. Fellow Rotarians and honored guests, I have the privilege of inducting a new member today on behalf of the Rotary Club of Muskegon. Tim Tuthill, you have been chosen for membership in the Rotary Club of Muskegon because your fellow members believe you to be a worthy representative of your profession and that you possess the qualities that will help you exemplify the true spirit of Rotary in your public, business, social, and private life. By joining the Rotary Club of Muskegon, you become part of a worldwide organization of business and professional leaders united in fellowship and dedicated to encouraging and fostering the ideal of service and high ethical standards to help create goodwill and a more peaceful world. Because you are a member of the Rotary Club of Muskegon, you will be welcome to join the fellowship of any Rotary Club worldwide. Membership in Rotary is an honor and a privilege. With this privilege, there are obligations. The Muskegon Rotary Club asks that you attend the club's meetings regularly, perform your share of club service, and use your knowledge and talents to help Muskegon Rotary carry the principles of Rotary into the daily life of our community. Do you accept these obligations? He said yes. Tim, here's his pin. Want me to take the mic? Would that help? Fumbled the handoff. So. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Muskegon, I'm pleased to ask Tim Arter, your sponsor, to give you this Rotary pin so that your fellow Rotarians and the community will recognize you as a Rotarian. Please wear your pin with pride. I also asked Tim to present you with this plaque displaying the ideals of Rotary, a copy of the 4-way test, and a member directory. Finally, I have a challenge for you. My challenge is for you to share the gift given to you by your sponsor. I ask that you invite another person of good character and commitment to Rotary's motto of service above self to join our club within the next 6 months. By sponsoring a new member, you will share the honor of becoming a Rotarian. Do you accept this challenge? He's still saying yes. Okay, everybody rise, Rotarians and guests. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Muskegon, I formally admit Tim Tuthill to membership and welcome him to our club. Fellow Rotarians, please recognize and congratulate the newest Rotarian in the world, Timothy Tuthill. Congratulations. Welcome, Tim. We got another Tim. We're getting a Tim quota here. We do not have any Paul Harris Fellow presentations today. There'll be more to come. Stay tuned. But we do have a lot of announcements. So Kim, we do have another video right now. As soon as you get the lights, Mike, roll tape. I want to thank everyone who came out last Friday to make our party in the park a rip-roaring success. We had a fabulous night with an incredible band, fantastic attendance, and perfect weather. We appreciate everyone's help in making this evening such a resounding success. Special thanks to go to Andrew Cutler, who devoted endless time and energy to organizing our party and guiding us through the entire day from setup to cleanup. Be sure to thank Andrew. Yes. Andrew is not with us today, but I know you all want to know that the question everybody asks, how much did we make? And Christy is here to talk to you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Christy Nagengast. I'm your Rotary Club treasurer, if I haven't met you yet. And we did have a great time. All the things Jenny mentioned, plus it was a lot of fun, right? And we did have a very successful financial night as well. Our revenue for beverage sales was actually about 60% more than last year. Costs a little higher too, because we have to pay for those beverages, but we're expecting we'll probably make about $12,000, $13,000. So really good. So as Jenny said, big thank you to Andrew, but a real big thank you to so many of you that were on the video, but many more. It took everybody for all of those people. I think, who was it? Lisa told me she thought it was one of the best nights that we've ever had. So it's really good to see. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Christy. Yes, and once again, thank you to all of you who volunteered. Tim, we saw you right there in the video. You were in there from the get-go, so we appreciate that. And you know, you haven't lived to sing Chris McGuigan tapping a keg. I mean, it's a skill. Okay, switching gears. Rewind will meet this evening at 5:15 at the Unruly Brewing Company, their new venue. That's at 360 West Western Avenue. Our newest Muskegon Rising podcast, number 22, is Mayor and Mayor. And that is with Nancy Crandall and Gary Nealon. And if you go to buzzsprout.com or find the link in the rim. Let's see. This is also a final reminder for the new member Coffee Connect on Wednesday, June 12th from 8 to 9 a.m. at the Muskegon Museum of History and Science, 430 West Clay Avenue. And please contact John Noling if you would like to help place flags along our stretch of Seaway Drive on Flag Day next Friday, June 14th, or on the 4th of July. At this time, I'm inviting the people who want to make individual announcements to come forward. And we're going to start with the Muskegon Clippers. So Irma, I think you're going to do that. And Andy, if you want to come up here, and I think I'm forgetting somebody. And Roger, yes. So if you guys could come up and be ready. And if you could show the slide for the Clippers game, please, Mike. And take it away.
There's a slide?
Well, right there. So you can turn on the light.
Well, you guys are getting your fill of me today. Wowzer.
Well, it's your
by the way,
birthday.
here's my $10.
Honest woman.
I'm official. So this is your final reminder. This Sunday at Historical Marshfield, we'll be having our Clipper carload party. So pack in your minivan, your trucks, and come out. And Tim gave me fun facts. So admission for everyone in your car, free Marshfield meal, which is a hot dog and a bag of chips, free soft drink, and one adult beverage. I know in the past there was multiple adult beverages.
Well, you're gonna have to take it up with Tim.
Yeah. VIP seating, games and giveaway, in-game recognition.
Oh, recognition. It works.
And loads of fun. So that gates open at 3:00. The first pitch is at 4:05, and rain date to be determined, which could be a possibility this Sunday. It's $15 for the carload. Otherwise, it's $5 for single admission. And if you have any questions, you can always touch base with Tim.
Thank you, and happy birthday. Andy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andy Belo. I'm chair of your DEI committee for a little bit longer. And I'm wanting to remind you today of the upcoming Family Fun Night at Mona Lake Park that is sponsored by Muskegon Rotary. That's taking place at 5 p.m., starting at 5 p.m. on Friday, June 14th. We were talking about this event at a recent meeting, and we acknowledge the fact that it's not a fundraiser in the normal sense of raising money, but it is a fundraiser in the sense of raising friends. And so there's a clipboard going around for people to sign up to volunteer, but I don't want you to worry about volunteering. I want you to come. Because I think we'll have enough volunteers anyway. But let's have a turnout by Muskegon Rotary like we had last weekend for Party in the Park, and really reach out and connect to our friends in Muskegon Heights. We all know we'd like to have more members from Muskegon Heights, so this is our opportunity to connect with them. And there's going to be live music. The musicians are all going to be paid, with all deference to the leader of Spotify. No music is free. And we're also going to have a number of different booths by community organizations doing outreach, fabulous free food and drinks, and bounce houses for the kids. So please do turn out for that. Second part of my announcement is to invite those of you who are currently signed up and those of you who are not to our next DEI meeting. That will be at 12 noon on the 26th. That's a Wednesday, and we do that every month. We meet every month for about an hour at the Community Foundation for Muskegon County. DEI is something that it's probably easier to do after there's been a local or a national crisis, but the real work takes place the rest of the time. So if you haven't been to a meeting for a while or ever, we invite you to join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Roger. John, you want to come get ready?
Hello. Just a quick reminder, Harvest Fest, October 24th. If you look in your email inbox from Monday, you got a note from Kim, thank you, Kim, that we have volunteer opportunities, and not looking to sign up people now because we're signing up people for other things, but know that it takes volunteers to make this happen. And we're going to have a meeting before our weekly club meeting on June 20th here at the Lake House, 11 or 11:30. It's in the email, but we'll be meeting then. We'll talk about the opportunities, get some people signed up. So if you can help, great. Show up for our club meeting a little early on the 20th, and we'll put you to work. Thank you.
No, I'll be fine.
Okay.
John Noling here. Speaking of June 14th, it's Flag Day, and I'm going to be at the Life Leadership Conference, and normally we put out 35 flags between Southern Avenue and Hackley Avenue. I think it would be fitting to have our flags go out on Flag Day, and I'm looking for volunteers. Morning is 7 to 7:45, putting them out. Evening is 6 to 6:45, putting them away. If any of you have a pickup truck or a van, I can get you the flags before I leave for the Life Leadership Conference next Tuesday. I just would like to see us continue the path. I'm hoping to do July 4th, but still would like help on July 4th. If you've been by the microforest, you've probably seen it's taken off pretty well, but we do want to start some weeding so that the young plants that we put in there have a shot. They're being irrigated daily. It's looking really good, but June 18th is a Tuesday, and if any of you don't mind pulling weeds for an hour or two with me and a crew, we're going to try to get some high school kids from our Interact clubs, but let me know if you have an interest in working at the forest, because if we want it to look good in 5 years, we got to get a good start. Finally, the biggest number of kids we've ever sent to the Life Leadership Conference is this year, our 75th. It's my last year as district chair for this event, so I want to go out with a bang. So we got a school bus leaving next Wednesday from the Career Tech Center loaded with 36 students from area Rotary clubs plus our own 27. But to get to 27 this year, it took Tim Arter digging money out of the community from foundation funds, and my graduating class from Muskegon High School, 1965, helped. And we pulled over $8,500 together to send this many kids. This is 5 or 6 more than we've ever sent before, from 9 high schools. Each Interact club has multiples going because we're trying to plant seeds of leadership for their club to not just survive, but grow. Some high schools were not represented this year, even though we tried. But 27 is a big number, and these are future leaders of our community. These are future, I would bet, Rotarians someday. I really hope so. But you know what? Katie Ely, Katie Drake, Stephanie Tushek, and Chauncey Williams are going to be serving at the conference on staff. Chauncey has a speaking role this year in front of the whole group. A number of you in this audience have helped us interview students this year, and I'd like to thank you as a group. We've also got chaperones on the bus going there and coming back. Doug Wood, Greg Means, and Barb Sharon, I want to thank them, and Randy Lindquist for making all the arrangements. But you know what? After 75 years, our club started this program on Big Blue Lake in 1949, and here we are, 3/4 of a century later, having served over 7,100 high school youth leaders in our district. Is that an amen? I think it is.
Don't forget that we supported it too. You didn't mention our club
Yeah,
support.
and it wouldn't be bad to mention that our club put a lot of money into those 27. We sponsored, I think, 16 or 18 of the 27 kids ourselves with our monies from Party in the Park and so on. So Muskegon Rotary, thank you for all you've done to make this program possible.
Thank you. No problem. I'm going to say only short people can make announcements before. We are ready for our raffle. Mary Beth, what are we going for first? 5, 10, 20. Going in order. 706. Oh, we have a winner, but I can't see who it is. Oh, Missy, congratulations. The back of the room disappears if you've never been up here. 661. Oh, we have a winner. Oh, Susan, congratulations. And for $20, $704. Hey, DJ. Congratulations. We appreciate your support. Your weekly raffle proceeds help support Polio Plus. Speaking of emails in your inbox, tomorrow you are going to get an email from Kim, which will be a cover for a letter from me on behalf of the Board of Directors. We have some changes that will be coming with your July 1st dues billing. There are increased costs borne by the club necessitating some financial changes, including a credit card fee, a dues increase for both regular and satellite club members, and a $1 price increase for lunches. The letter will include more details. And I realize, this is kind of ironic since we were talking about creating fellowship, but hey, sorry. Yes, thank you for that. And also, next week's program is me talking about my goals for the year and how I did, and please don't bring rotten fruit and vegetables. So, thank you. If you'll all stand, we'll recite the 4-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill or better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? We're adjourned. Go out and create some hope in the world.